Well, good day and welcome once again to Moments with Dr. Steve. I'm Dr. Steve, and on this day, in this chunk, in this slug of material, we're focusing on biblical wisdom. We do that every single start of every single week because I poured my life into the Gospel of John and Johannian literature. There was a day I would have considered myself a subject matter expert at these topics. But perhaps not anymore. Lesson 9, the fullness of Christ. Of his fullness, we have received grace upon grace. Of his fullness. Fullness is the word from which we derive the English word plethora, and it means filled up. And think of a hull of a great ship, a cargo ship that commands the high seas, filled with sailors and crew and passengers and the provender to care for all of them, and the stowed away secret cargoes, and this notion of abundance that packs into every nook and cranny. Think about it as capacity and agency. That's what fullness is. Capacity, agency. Those are big words. Capacity means resources that are enough and overflowing, and then agency is the power and the intellect and the will and the might to do the work. That's what fullness means. God's fullness provides us the power and ability to do and fulfill the words and thoughts he pushes or places into our minds and hearts. And so it's such an important idea to get your mind around. The idea that God and his power, they're the capacity, they're the agency that fill your words and thoughts, and that's what pushes your mind and heart and soul to figure out how to get the work done. This is not an individualized effort. That's vanity, and that is by itself, futility. But many of you, many of us, many of the workers, the servants, come to the ends of our ropes. Many now feel like abandoning the faith. Many feel so stumbled, and they feel like their human effort has been so lacking, and that their sorrows are so powerful that nothing can interrupt the sorrows and forestall the coming avalanche of pain that is on the horizon of their life. So many people feel this right now. I'm in the people business. I deal with human beings that are broken and frayed and whose lives are not always working. Many of you feel like your efforts have been disintegrating, and the integrity of your work is not generating earned merits. Many of you feel that around you you're pressed down into the mud, and you're climbing and clawing out of some messy, smelly tar pit. This is the world that so many live and toil within. Build a life takeaway. Fullness is the power and agency to do and complete the mission that God assigns for your life. We want you to imagine your mission. There'll be more to come on this in days to come. But we call it the mandated mission, and we want you to know that your true spiritual calling is to first be authentic to the messages that God is sending you. We encourage and urge and nudge you to begin to journal and use words and images to describe what is happening inside of your spiritual life. That's what we ask you to do. God then reminds you that grace is God's personalized rocket fuel for you. Grace is God's personalized rocket fuel for you. And full grace, one thing we want you to know is, and this is for certain, the church and your work and your service and the way you employ your business is changing. And our mind drifts to the mega churches because we all see them, don't we? They never seem to fail. The mega churches and the mega pastors and the mega personalities that, just suck up oxygen and resources, they never seem to have to process undue harm, do they? The mega churches always seem to figure out how to fight and win. God always seems to pour talent and resources and abundance and overflowing bounty and countless and copious floodgates of money into these mega churches. We all notice it. You can't act like you don't. But my work always focuses upon those pastors and lay leaders that struggle and serve in forgotten settings. That's been my life. My work always directs max efforts, to supporting and encouraging and providing useful tools to the men and women that toil and serve in less opulent settings. My work understands that privilege does not always mean you're connected to, privilege is not always connected to service. In our biblical wisdom, we focus today on the fullness of Christ and His grace. We do so with the clear understanding that few right now feel very full. I talk to lots of pastors. I have people that I know all around the world that connect with me and talk with me about the work that they do. We understand and have full and clear understanding that right now few people feel very full. We send you grace and courage and encouragement. Keep plowing, my friends. God then one day, listen to me, and I speak this as prophetic voice. God one day notices and blesses and empowers your work. I'm going to say that again. Keep plowing, my friend. God then one day, and I speak this as prophetic voice into your life, notices and blesses and empowers your work. Fullness, imagine, means at least sails fully extended and puffed. Winds that gently blow and glide ministries along. Hopes and dreams encouraged and wholly funded. Parishioners with bright faces and sparkling eyes and brilliant smiles that gladly receive and welcome your proper instruction. Children that gather round campfires and hearths and embrace the gospel of Christ. Governments that provide safe passage for all religious instruction. We send grace and honor and earned badges of courage to each of you. We're building a global cultural conversation. Head over to stalegious.org. Leave us a note. Tell us of your ministry. We will listen. Till next time. I'm Dr. Steve Bonenberger, and this is Moments with Dr. Steve. Travel far.